Hello folks, and welcome to another Organist Entertains here at Bellshill Central Parish Church. This is episode 24, and this is our second of our new weekly cycle of episodes and visits to the church here at Bellshill. So tonight we have another episode packed full of the things that you want to hear: songs, hymns, choir pieces, and a little quiet organ piece at the end. Again, as we say each time we meet this way, this is our way of keeping you connected with church. You could call it virtual church, and we hope that you enjoy seeing and hearing the surroundings that you would normally see when you come to church on a Sunday. We do hope that you're all keeping well, and we hope that it won't be long until we're all back together here in the church. But enough from me, let's get on with tonight's episode. Our first song, hymn tonight, has been requested from Alexa and Bobby Walker. It is the hymn, Ye Gates, Lift Up Your Heads on High. The second portion of it, to the tune of St. George's, Edinburgh. This is a hymn which we have had before. I think this is now the third time we've had Ye Gates, Lift Up Your Heads on High. And it's a favourite of the Scottish Presbyterian churches. We sing it, or we did used to sing it at every communion service that we had. However, it doesn't come out as regular as it used to do, but it still comes out now and again, and we do enjoy singing it and hearing the organ thunder, especially when we get to the final Alleluias and Amens. Now, normally when we sing this hymn, this is when the elements are born into the church, the sanctuary, as we begin the communion element of the service. So it is indeed very special to lots of people. So anyway, here we have Ye Gates, to the tune St. George's, Edinburgh. We're back with your second item tonight. Last time we met, we started our mini-series on the Psalms, the metrical Psalms particularly. Now, we've already started with the Psalm this evening, with Psalm 24, Ye gates, lift up your heads. We continue with another Psalm, this time not chosen by anyone, but a selection made by me of a hymn which we don't sing all that often these days. The Psalms are a great part of the church in Scotland, and the Psalms normally would have headed the praise list of a Sunday morning. They don't often feature every Sunday morning, but they do feature from time to time. This hymn, Praise waits for thee in Zion, Lord, to thee thou's paid shall be, is the metrical version of Psalm 65. We sing it to the tune St. Stephen's a Bridge, and I'm sure that it will be familiar to many of you. Our third item tonight isn't a hymn. It's a song which our church choir have sang, and it has been requested by my mum, Mary Matthew, and she knew it long before the choir here at Bellshill Central. We used to sing this at Chalmers Church in Wishaw as a choir anthem. It is, Make me a blessing. The first line of words are, Out in the highways and byways of life, many are weary and sad. Carry the sunshine where darkness is rife, making the sorrowing glad. It's a song from the Salvation Army, and it's found in a book for songsters. Gems for Songsters, number 6. The words are by Ira B. Wilson and the music is by G.S. Schuler. I'll tell you a little bit about the author of the words. Ira Bishop Wilson was taught to play the violin by a sister and organ whilst still at home. Around 1902, Ira began studies with the Moody Bible Institute in Chicago, Illinois. In 1905, he went to work for the Lorenz Publishing Company in Dayton, Ohio. His compositions have appeared in The Choir Leader, The Choir Herald, and he also served as the editor-in-chief of the Volunteer Choir. He has lots of items which are sung all the time, but this is a beautiful song, and it's a quieter song, so I know that will please some of you not to hear the trumpets blasting every time you hear the organ. So here we have Make Me a Blessing. Our fourth hymn tonight is a Christmas carol. It's not been specifically requested for this particular episode, but it was requested at Christmas time for our candlelight carols here in the church. The carol is Away in a Manger, No Crib for a Bed. It was chosen then by Drew Aitken. Drew wasn't able to be with us that night, but he recorded a little message which we were able to show on the screens so that he could introduce the hymn as if he were here in person. Drew remembers this hymn from Sunday school days through in the church hall with the Sunday school teachers ushering the children around about and getting ready for nativity plays and such like. It's a hymn, a carol, loved by many people, and still today, when the children from the local primary schools come to visit us, it's a carol that they all know and that they all do love to sing. So here we have, for Drew, all those children out there, big and small, who love the hymn, Away in a Manger, No Crib for a Bed. Our next hymn tonight is requested from Andrew MacLeod. Andrew attends church at Glasgow Clincart Hill, and Andrew likes the old hymns and songs along with the new hymns and songs. He's chosen Take My Life and Let It Be, consecrated, Lord, Thee. We would normally sing this to a tune by Mozart. However, Andrew has specifically requested that we sing it to the tune of Culford. Now, the words for the hymn are written by Frances Ridley Havergal, who featured last week with Who is on the Lord's side, who will serve the King? And I did mention last week that she would have been a frail old woman when she wrote those words. However, these words are a lot more gentler and all about our dedication to God. So here we have for Andrew, Take My Life and Let It Be, consecrated, Lord, to Thee, to the tune of Culford. Enjoy, Andrew. Our sixth item tonight in our requests has come from John Hume, who has become a great friend of us here at Bellshill Central during the Organist Entertains. He is a choir member who's missing his singing, so for lots of people, these videos, as I've said earlier, are turning into almost a virtual church or a virtual church choir. The hymn that he has requested is Immortal, Invisible, God Only Wise, to the tune of St. Denio. Now, sometimes here in Bellshill, we like to mix up some tunes. It's always good to sing words to different tunes now and again, because I think it makes you think about the words that little bit better, because you're not just going through the motions, singing things to the tune that you always do sing them to. And when we change the tune about for Immortal, Invisible, we sing it to the road and miles to Dundee. Now, you may not have thought that those words do fit the tune, but they do. So once we've sung Immortal, Invisible, God Only Wise to St. Denio, have a bash at singing the words to the road and miles to Dundee. However, here is John's hymn request of Immortal, Invisible, God Only Wise. Our seventh item in this 24th episode of The Organist Entertains has been requested by Teresa Taylor. And I think this is the first request that Teresa has made during these weeks of not being able to come to church. So it's great to hear from you, Teresa, and we do hope that you're keeping well. Now, this is the first of two requests tonight, and we'll forgive you for that because this is your first time of asking. She's asked to have Lead me, Lord, lead me in thy righteousness, which is a portion of Psalm 8, and it is a piece well known to choirs up and down the land. It's written by Samuel Sebastian Wesley, and it starts with a solo, and then the choir join in, and then another solo takes over at the halfway point, and then the choir finish off all together. The words generally just fit the music to be played through once, and they are, "Lead me, Lord, lead me in thy righteousness. Make thy way plain before my face. For it is thou, Lord only, that makest me dwell in safety." However, it's such a lovely tune that there is a second verse to it, which we add on sometimes just to make it that little bit more longer, and we can enjoy it just that little bit more longer. So we're going to have it played through twice, and the other words which will appear on the screen are, "Teach me, Lord, teach me truly how to live, that I may come to know thee, and in thy presence serve thee with gladness, and sing songs of praise to thy glory." Which means that you hear the words as in the old anthem books, and all you alto soloists can clear your throats and sing along. However, the second verse calls for a little bit louder playing of the organ, so you might find that a little bit strange because you're used to hearing it finishing quietly. However, the organ being a little bit more louder supports the words of "Sing songs of praise to thy glory." So here, finally, for Teresa, we have "Lead me, Lord." Finally, we have reached our last request of the night. The last request comes from our friend Morag MacLeod, who tunes in every week and enjoys the music that she hears. Her request tonight is, "Yield not to temptation, for yielding is sin." It's no longer found in Church Hymnary 4th edition, but it is in Church Hymnary 3rd edition. The words are, "Yield not to temptation, for yielding is sin. Each victory will help you, some others to win. Fight valiantly onward, evil passions subdue. Look ever to Jesus, he will carry you through." Now, here in the west of Scotland, we sometimes like to clip off the end of words, and it's not the first time that I have heard this hymn referred to as "Yield not to temptation." And it always causes great laughter when we hear the things like, "Shun evil companions, bad language disdain. God's name hold in reverence, nor take it in vain." Now, this is just a reminder, these words, of what we should be doing. And we're all human and we're all sinful, so we all do things we shouldn't do from time to time. But it always does create a little bit of laughter if we sing this and we're practicing through it with the choir, because I'm sure there's a little bit of that in all of us. So anyway, enough of my ramblings as we reach the last item in tonight's episode. Yield not to temptation, for yielding is sin. Requested by Morag MacLeod. Well, I hope you've enjoyed tonight and that you come back and join us in a week's time with some more of your hymn requests here from Bellshill. We have one more request, but it's an item that I've chosen to put at the end, kind of like the concluding voluntary, that you would have on Sunday at church after the threefold Amen, and you're leaving. So as we finish for this virtual church, we're going to hear music by Stephen Adams and words by F.E. Weatherly. The song has been requested by Teresa Taylor. It is, of course, the famous The Holy City. Now, I'm sure that this will conjure up lots of memories and thoughts for people who have sang the solo, or perhaps you've been in a choir singing a 4-part arrangement of it. It's a beautiful song. The words are so thoughtful and meaningful that the two just go together, and you can't have one without the other. Following The Holy City, we have a shorter and quieter piece to finish with. It is a small piece from Mendelssohn's Midsummer Night's Dreams, and it is nocturnal. It features the flutes on the organ and some of the string stops. So I do hope that you've enjoyed tonight. Keep seated, listen to the last 2 items. Then you can go make your cup of tea and get yourself sorted. But do remember, I want to hear from you with your hymn requests. Get in touch with me or the church in whatever way you feel best to do so. The message will get through to me. We want these episodes to be filled with the music, the songs and the hymns that you want to hear. Thanks, folks. Good night, keep safe, and see you next week.